but The Rock is cooking.
Welcome back.
Yeah, man, how you doing? You good? I know you like that. I know you like that. How long you been back, man? I see the girls in the club, they're getting wild for me. And all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me. These rap cats, man, they all got this style from me. And if I ever see them, man, they probably bow to me. And when this beat drop, I know they gon' lean. World debut, I know they gon' fiend. Everything Mississippi to the Palm Springs. Girls from brunettes down to blonde queens.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Washed up Q, part-time Q. We back. And I'm sorry about the noise in the background, y'all. I'm just making a steak over here. I'm cooking up a little ribeye for a late night dinner. But there's a lot of things that I am going to address. And it'll be a series of videos where I'm going to address all of this stuff. But the first thing that came to my mind was everybody blaming The Rock for the main event of WrestleMania being a flop. So, I'm going to do you one good. I'm going to say that, no, it wasn't The Rock's fault that the main event of WrestleMania was a flop. It was not his fault at all. You know whose fault it was? It was the champion's fault. The champion got to have the ability to draw. If QB1, Crybaby Cody, is supposed to be the so-called face of the company, the quarterback, and all this other stuff, you're the leader. It's supposed to fall on you. If the quarterback throws a wide open pass to his receiver and he drops the ball, guess who gets the blame? The quarterback. If LeBron James's teammates don't show up when he scores 40 freaking points and the team loses, guess who they still blame? They blame him. You're the leader. You're the guy. So you're supposed to be the one that be able to keep the story progressing if things change. But to our knowledge, based off of what The Rock said on the Pat McAfee podcast, he let them know, my work here is done. Y'all don't need me. So he took a back seat to help put over the story, to make the story about John Cena and Cody Rhodes, to make it about John Cena winning number 17. And here's the part that really grinds my gear when it comes to these wrestling fans. Had The Rock shown up to WrestleMania, had he shown up, y'all all would have bitched and you all would have complained. You all would have been crying. Look, he's making it about himself. His ego is so inflated. Oh, he showed up because his movies flopped and blah, blah, blah. He needs to be relevant again. Y'all would have said all this bullshit about him showing up. And now, you hoes mad because he took a back seat to the main event of WrestleMania? And now y'all are trying to say that WrestleMania was ruined because of The Rock? Get the fuck out of here. WrestleMania was ruined because Triple H don't know how to fucking book a show. That's why WrestleMania was ruined. Because Triple H, to this day, still doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. If Vince McMahon can tear up a script and write a whole new fucking storyline or write a whole new show because the story's so bad and then it turns out better, how come Triple H can't fucking call an audible? How come Triple H can't do the same thing? And how in the hell does Triple H keep getting out of shit? How come y'all don't ever blame him for nothing? So now you want to make The Rock the scapegoat because Papa H fumbled the bag. And according to The Rock, it was Triple H's idea to turn Cena. All this time I thought it was The Rock, but it was Triple H who came up with the pitch to turn Cena heel. So you mean to tell me that you had this plan for John Cena to turn and you didn't know what to do with it, but somehow it was The Rock's fault? When it was Triple H's idea in the first place, and The Rock was just like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. Let's see what John say. WrestleMania was fumbled because Triple H fumbled, not because of The Rock. This should happen plenty of times. It happened in the build to John Cena and The Rock match, where The Rock said he's going to show up, he's never going to leave, and blah, 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 blah. But he would only show up sporadically, and he really didn't show up until 2 months or so before the damn pay-per-view and the one-off at Survivor Series. Cena was the one carrying that story, cutting promos about The Rock almost every week, keeping the fans intrigued about the match. So The Rock didn't even have to show up because Cena was already putting it over. How come Cody Rhodes couldn't do that? How come he couldn't do it? Y'all say, oh, because John Cena didn't show up, it's his fault. Bro, Cody Rhodes is the champion. He's the undisputed face of the company. He's the guy, right? So as the guy, you're supposed to be the most interesting person. You're supposed to be the biggest attraction. You should be the reason that people want to see it. Shouldn't have to rely on John Cena if you're the guy. If he took all the notes from John Cena, if he learned everything he knows from John Cena, how come he couldn't learn how to fucking progress a story? How come he couldn't learn how to keep a story fresh and keep a story interesting? But somehow that's The Rock's fault. So by that logic, you're basically saying that he needed The Rock to carry his ass. Like we've been saying. Like all the smart fans, the actual smart fans, been saying that. He needs stars bigger than him to keep him interesting because him alone is not interesting enough. You saw it. But Triple H keeps doubling down. The internet ain't real. Fuck what y'all talking about. But don't worry. I'm going to get on Triple H. I got a whole rant for Triple H. Washed up Q, I'm back, bruh. And I'm finna be dropping these motherfucking videos like hot potatoes, dog. Because there's so many dumbass wrestling fans posting misinformation. Wrestling fans that have only been watching this shit for 5-6 years max. Who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Who don't know shit. And they just go with the narrative. They just feed into all the bullshit that WWE puts out. So the internet ain't real, but yet they talk about social media and how they get all these views and get all these numbers. But the internet isn't real, right? And now y'all are telling people, oh, if you don't like it, don't watch. So now people can't have an opinion no more. But you same motherfuckers will complain and whine and bitch every fucking chance you got whenever Vince McMahon booked some shit that you didn't like. And now that it's on the other side, and now that your precious Papa H is running creative, you look for people to blame instead of him. And now you're trying to put that shit on The Rock. When all The Rock did was take a back seat. So he's the bad guy for that? He's wrong for not showing up? This is a strong case of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because had The Rock shown up, y'all would have cried about that. Y'all would have said, oh, he's inserting himself into the main event again. He's shoving himself down our throats again. He's making it about him again. But the moment that he doesn't, y'all mad. It's a problem. You want to know what a good wrestler is? A great professional wrestler? A great professional wrestler is somebody who can call an audible on the fly. A great professional wrestler can take anything that they're given or lack thereof and make it work. How come Cody Rhodes couldn't make it work? The Rock said, I ain't coming, bruh. Y'all got it. Make it happen. You in the main event of WrestleMania. It's up to y'all. How come Cody couldn't make it work? And somehow it's The Rock's fault that Cody's not good enough to make it happen? And I'm glad that The Rock buried the entire creative team and he buried Cody Rhodes passively. But he basically said he wasn't that strong on Cody Rhodes being able to progress a story. And we been knew that. And what the fuck they gonna say to The Rock? The final boss. Nigga, he run the company. What they gonna say to him? And I know it was this whole like circle jerk and this fucking tug of war of power between him and Triple H. But honestly, based off of what The Rock said in that podcast with Pat, I'm glad he didn't show up. I'm glad he didn't. The fact that y'all still calling him just to fucking save your PLE because you can't fucking draw no tickets because your champion is not a fucking draw. And that's his fault too. Y'all took away the biggest dream match in this generation to fucking put the belt on him without any explanation. Oh, finish the story. What fucking story? My fat jobber ass daddy didn't win the title at a fucking house show. So now it's up to me to right that wrong. Even though my daddy wasn't really a WWE guy. He wasn't a homegrown talent. This nigga was a special attraction they brought in from NWA from time to time. The fuck out of here. Goldust was a fucking better wrestler than him. How come they didn't put the belt on Goldust? Motherfucker politic this way into ruining WrestleMania 40. And now you see all the backlash happening from it today. All could have been well if we would have got the real main event that was supposed to happen. And then you can have Cody win the fucking belt at Saturday night's main event. Boom. There you go. Perfect story right there. Oh, my daddy didn't win the title at Saturday night's main event. Let me finish the story and win the title at Saturday night's main event. But no, I gotta have a WrestleMania moment. It has to be at WrestleMania. Fuck out of here. I'm glad The Rock buried the entire fucking creative team. I'm glad he fucking called out Triple H in his bullshit. I'm glad he pretty much said Triple H don't know what the fuck he's doing. And yeah, he said what he had to say because he probably hear everybody blaming him. But no, it ain't his fault. It ain't like the nigga said he was gonna show up and then all of a sudden at the last minute he reneged. He been told them at the chamber, y'all got it. Make it happen. So y'all motherfuckers had 6 motherfucking weeks to build this shit and it flopped. And you mean to tell me that y'all saying John Cena's heel turn is trash? Yeah, it's trash because look at who booking it. Look at who's doing it. You think Vince McMahon would have booked Cena like that if he was going to turn him? I mean, let's be for real. Vince probably wouldn't have turned him. But let's just say if Vince did turn him, you think he would have been booking him like that? Hell motherfucking no. And Vince wouldn't have blew his entire motherfucking load before WrestleMania. Are you serious? Vince McMahon would have never did that shit. And y'all can talk about how in his final years he was washed. Even in his washed years, he wouldn't have booked no dumbass shit like that. And a little side note, let's not forget, Vince McMahon in his final years, washed up Vince was the one who booked the entire bloodline. Who created that entire story. Do y'all not forget? He booked Edge's comeback. Did y'all not forget? I better go on with that bullshit. But anyway, I just wanted to make a rant about that. It wasn't The Rock's fault that the main event flopped. It was Triple H's fault. And it was you dumbass fans' fault. For crying for Cody Rhodes to finish his story and to have this long, undeserved ass title reign. Washed up Q, I'm out this bitch. Y'all have fun, love life, and love yourselves. Peace.